Every universe in the multiverse is connected by the void, a realm of complete emptiness. Very few have ever been there. The cult of Skaro once hid the void via the use of a void ship, but even that was extremely dangerous. The void wasn't as empty as people believed, however, as it was actually home to a small planet named Tri-Sor. The Eternals named it Tri-Sor, as in their language it meant hub, the hub of the multiverse. It was named this as the planet was full of gateways which allowed whoever was there to travel between universes. It was a place of myth and legend, as nobody had ever actually found it. This was until Omega and the Doctor did. Omega had tricked the Doctor into flying his Tardis through the void and landing on Tri-Sor. Reluctantly, they had both exited the Tardis and admired the crowds of portals. "What's your plan, Omega, the Doctor asked, standing up and stroking his collars. "Now that's a good question, isn't it?" Omega laughed, moving towards the gateway. "Don't you see how incredible this is? We have travelled to a place where no being has ever been since the Eternals existed. And that is most likely for a reason, my dear fellow." The Doctor was not impressed. He started to head back towards the Tardis. Each gateway was changing colour continuously. You'd say it was beautiful if you ignored the fact that while each portal was open, the walls of the multiverse were collapsing. "Which one first, then?" said Omega. "If you're suggesting that we should go through one of those, then you really are insane," yelled the Doctor, now back inside the Tardis. Omega walked over to join him and entered through a familiar blue doorway. The Doctor had begun to set course for the next location, although flying the Tardis had never really been his strong suit. "There is no reason to worry about your companions. They are most likely all still in the town, enjoying the food and delicacies." "It's not them I'm worried for. It's me. You're a dangerous man, Omega. Even the Time Lords fear you." Annoyed by his newfound friend, Omega began to click his own buttons and levers. "If you're thinking of sending us to some other part of the multiverse, then forget it." Omega ignored the Doctor, carrying on whilst the TARDIS whizzed into life and began to move towards the gateway. With the TARDIS doors still wide open, the Doctor could see that they flew straight into one of the tears, leaving Tri-Sor. There was nothing he could do. Omega was in control now. The TARDIS arrived on Earth. Not the Earth the Doctor knew and loved, obviously. This one was different. "A brand new universe, Doctor! I've finally completed my goals and become the first being to travel between universes." "This is wrong. It isn't natural to be able to move sideways in time like this. Because that's all multiverse travel is, you know," argued the Doctor, moving so he would be able to look outside. "Oh, so you have read my notes, have you? The theories I created by carrying out my own experiments?" asked the now intrigued Omega. The Doctor, now standing in the TARDIS doorway, answered him. "Your theories were uploaded to the Matrix like everything else on Gallifrey. They teach what you discovered in the Academy. I remember learning about it." The Doctor exited the TARDIS and stepped out into London's busy Leicester Square. Everything looked so similar to that of his universe's 2020 London, yet there were some differences. The streets weren't as busy as they should be, probably due to the measures put in place to stop the spread of the coronavirus, but there was something different. The Doctor hadn't noticed straight away due to the general shock of being in another universe, but there was something very, very weird. The few people that were out on the street were all translucent. Nobody looked like they were properly here or there, almost like ghosts. "What is this place?" the Doctor asked. "Fascinating, isn't it? They're echoes of existence. Now let me get this ridiculous helmet on." Omega took off his helmet, revealing an aged, weathered face. "So that's why you wear it. You're as old as time itself by the looks of things." Omega seemed offended. "Says you," he said. The pair ventured off into the hubbub of London, admiring the so-called echoes as they passed on by. They all had blank expressions on their faces and walked in sync with each other, almost like they had nothing human about at all. "They're fascinating, aren't they?" Omega said, as the Doctor agreed with him. "Why are they like this?" asked the Doctor. "They're not supposed to look like this. This universe has collided with another, resulting in the two phasing with each other. Therefore, life is neither in one universe or the other," an insightful Omega told him. The Doctor believed Omega knew too much about multiversal travel and events for someone who had supposedly been trapped, floating aimlessly in the void. He didn't voice his suspicions, however, and carried on walking. "Where are we trying to go anyway, Surely we should be trying to attempt to return home." Laughing menacingly, Omega turned to the Doctor. "You're not ever going to return back, Doctor!" The Doctor was once again confused. "Why ever not?" Omega went on to continue. "I have brought you to die. I have seen your future, Doctor. All the countless lives you'll go on to have. I've seen the ones you can't remember. If I let you live, then it won't be just you trying to stop me. It will be all of your incarnations." The Doctor knew he was in trouble. He was still confused, however. Omega had made him out to be some sort of swashbuckling hero. The Doctor wasn't that sort of person. "So then, what are these plans of yours you're worried I'll intervene in? Would I be correct in thinking you're behind these universes colliding and the echoes being created?" 100% correct. Yes, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without my vigils. As soon as Omega said this, 3 vigils appeared and surrounded the Doctor. He'd encountered them before with Susan in Akaten. Now that was a day to remember. "My plans are to rule over the multiverse as Emperor of Reality," Omega continued. "Emperor of Reality, You don't realise how ridiculous that sounds. And you certainly got one thing right. I will try and stop you." As the Doctor said this, the echoes nearby all stopped and turned towards the group. "What are they doing?" asked Omega. "I'm guessing this isn't your doing then, cried the worried Doctor. The echoes began marching towards them. They were surrounded. There was no way out. Omega's plan seemed to have gone completely off the rails.